Hey folks, and welcome to Drinking Alone with Friends, a podcast where three friends drink alone together. My name's Chris.
What up? It's Todd.
And I'm Obert. Welcome to our very dry, very dead, regular podcast.
That's right.
It's not as fun.
Nope, this is a very serious episode.
Yeah.
If you came here to laugh, just hit stop right now.
Although
no jokes.
The whiteboard still reflects that it's a wet, hot live show, because of course it does.
I made a bet with myself that Todd was going to mention that within the first 90 seconds of the podcast, and I won the bet. So I intentionally didn't erase it because I knew Todd was going to say something about it.
Well, I'm glad that you did, because that makes me feel better. Now I have something to complain about, because I didn't like the whiteboard beforehand, because it's not the original whiteboard. Rest in peace, rip. And now it's even worse, because it still reflects something that we're not doing.
Well, I had a feeling that if I erased it, you'd be like, the whiteboard looked way better last week. How come there's nothing new on
Oh, yeah, you had no shot of winning this battle. I was going to bitch and moan either way.
I think the only way I could have won would have been if I erased it and then exactly copied how it used to look.
Exactly. Yep.
I'd be so excited.
You still would say it looked better before, though.
No, that way, that would be one way to get me to shut up, is if you brought back the really old whiteboard.
You want the goose. You want the swan.
I want the swan, and I want the tally marks. And I want it to say, man of people, comma, Tud.
Okay. I'm taking notes on the whiteboard.
On the whiteboard. Next live show, you just see just a bunch of stuff, including a grocery list.
But yeah, how's your guys' July going so far? We kind of breezed past the 4th of July because, our live show was recorded before that, even though it came out around then. But you guys do any good, fun drinking, beer-related things lately? Any beer fests or breweries or anything like that?
I haven't gone anywhere yet, but I'm about to go somewhere this weekend. So that's technically in July, and by the time you hear this, I would have gone.
No, most definitely is in July, for sure. We are in the month of July.
We are in July, confirmed. That's how months work.
That's right. You invited me to a Brewfest.
Yes. Yeah, I texted you guys because I was literally like, I saw this Brewfest hosted by Divine Barrel Brewing Company. Obviously, we've talked about them a bunch.
Well, you didn't mention that in the text.
That is true.
I could have moved some stuff around.
No part of this did you tell us what brewery it was for.
That is very true. I stumbled across it on Threads. I don't know if you guys know. There's a new social media app. But anyways, we didn't have enough of those in the world. It's called a Divine Moment. No, a Divine Moment of Clarity is what it's called. And it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. It's kind of like, how when we were younger, we would drink a lot with reckless abandon.
Yep.
It's almost, and now we're like old and middle-aged.
That's true.
And I retired from all that.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like Beerfest did that. It's kind of like Beerfest kind of grew up and was like, you know what? I'm done partying. We're just going to drink socially on a podcast every week. Like, that's exactly...
Mm-hmm.
Wait a second. So where is this beer fest?
It's at Divine Barrel.
And that's in...
But, what makes it classy and grown up?
Oh,
wait,
okay.
Is that in Charlotte?
Yeah, Charlotte, yeah.
Todd's looking up flights.
That's what I'm like, can you tell me some of this information here so I can look this up? And I'm like, how do I figure this out?
So what they're doing is, instead of doing your stereotypical taster, where you get this little 3-ounce glass and you run around like, you please sir, may I have some more, to all these tents, and you're just chugging shots of beer all day.
Sure.
It's supposed to be a little bit more laid back than that. They're only serving half and full pours from all these different breweries, and there's going to be music and food and stuff available. So it's more supposed to be like a chill, get yourself a beer.
It sounds like you're going to get more fucked up.
I had that thought too, but it's not unlimited, but they do have a bunch of different breweries. You have to buy beer tokens, things like that, So
how many tokens can you get?
I don't know. I currently have 7 beers worth of tokens to get. So I feel like that's enough. I feel like, listen, I'm not going to go there. You're not supposed to go there and drink 10 beers or 12 beers and get slammered,
I don't know what Ted thinks about this, but...
Is it Saturday?
Yeah.
Jesus, the flights are expensive.
Ted's Googling where he can find knockoff counterfeit tokens and maybe...
Well, first I got to get there.
scalp tokens to make profit so he can fly there.
What time is the beer fest at?
11.
Oh, so I
11.
gotta get
I
up
think
early.
this ends with Todd hammered on a plane Saturday night.
For $600.
I mean, I can get to Charlotte by 9:19 a.m.
For
$417.
woof.
That is pricey.
That is steep. Yes.
But I can then leave on the 6:10 flight home.
There you go. Just one night, one afternoon in Charlotte.
The same, fly in, fly out.
But
Oh no, they don't have a return flight that late. The plane leaves at 9:59 a.m. Land there, turn around, come back.
Just chug beers in the Charlotte airport.
There you go. Close enough.
The other thing is because it's a divine moment of clarity, as the name of it. They are only serving clear beers. So like, T-Rexes, I probably shouldn't say this. The T-Rexes that are listening.
Oh, yeah. They know where to go.
They know where to go. But I thought that was kind of neat. I was like, oh, that's neat. Like no hazies, no stouts, things like that. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm trying to convince a couple people from work to go so I don't have to drink alone in Charlotte. So, but yeah, I don't know. As we discussed before, as a middle-aged man with 2 kids, I'm like, I think this is my speed now. I think this is where I'm supposed to be.
I could do this.
God.
Hang on. So I see here on Craigslist that there's space on a cargo ship leaving out of New London, headed down the coast.
I could do this. If I leave from Boston on Friday night, I can be in Charlotte by 6:05 p.m.
Okay.
I can then leave on Saturday at 7 p.m. It would only cost $250
For one day. I mean,
for one day.
cheaper than $450.
That's true.
Are you going to leave your car at Logan?
That's another.
would
That's
have to, right?
that's the other $200.
That's $90 right there.
Now, Caitlin, this is what I need you to do. I need you to drive to Boston, drop me off, drive back home, go to bed, wake up the next day, drive to Boston, pick me up so I can enjoy clear beers with Chris and Charlotte. Honestly, you could play her that part of the podcast. I don't see how this pitch is bad.
No, it sounds pretty good.
I mean, I saw that you ended up getting a PS5, so clearly my conversation in the last podcast convinced Mrs. Beerdad to let you get a PS5.
She did say, she was like, I was dead set against it, but then I heard all of the really, really good points that Tud made, and yeah,
Super convincing arguments.
yeah, he's just right. We named it Tud Jr. That's the PS5's name.
Nice. Well, enjoy your clear beer festival that I won't be able to attend because it just doesn't seem feasible. If you had given me more notice than today, possibly.
Well, to be fair, I only found out about it a couple days ago. So,
Well, I mean, to be fair, your text message to Obert and I did not sell any of this. Didn't tell us it was Divine Barrel. Didn't tell us it was in Charlotte.
and it was a middle-aged beer fest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
none of this happened.
I have a T-Rex friend who's just very disappointed that
Oh,
he
no.
didn't find out about this sooner.
Stay away, Sue. Get away from me.
But yeah, you'll have to report back on the next show.
Yeah.
How it was.
Yeah, I'm-
how clear the beers were. How Pinky's out the crowd was.
Yeah, how many died from T-Rex attacks, et cetera, et cetera.
Speaking of pinkies, it's hard to hold your pinky straight.
Great podcast material.
Like mine wants to do this for some reason. I don't know why.
I think that means you broke it like playing football and it didn't heal right.
Possible. It just wants to fire back like that. Like it's either there or here. Like keeping it here is impossible.
All right, who's drinking first tonight? Speaking of pinkies, all this talk about pinkies is making me thirsty.
All this pinky talk.
I'll drink first this week. And I actually do have a beer story to share along with this, and I have 2 beers. Because Obert, you asked for things that happened over the past week. So, first of all, on July 1st, I was going to go to a 4th of July party. It was Saturday before 4th of July, so somebody was having a 4th of July party. So I went over to pick up my Bud Lights on the floor and start to cool them down as, you do before you go to an all-day drinking event.
Sure.
And I noticed that the floor around my Bud Lights was soaked.
Uh-oh.
So not knowing what happened, I looked around, kind of confused, because this is like right in the heart of like Beer Central in my kitchen. Of what is
That's where beer.
what is leaking? So my keg of my last beer somehow leaked out of the tap,
Oh no.
covering my kegerator, the floor, and everything else around there in beer. Plus, I was wondering why my cat had been acting weird for like the past like 24 hours. It's because he was drunk. So,
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that is pretty funny.
so my math is that about 2 gallons of beer spilt out of my tap.
How did this much beer, like, how did your cat discover so much of this beer before you did, I guess is what I want to know.
So I don't make a habit of walking, like I don't drink on a...
It's kind of in that corner of the kitchen. You're not...
Yeah, I
Beer
don't
Central is not Kitchen Central.
Right, yeah, so I didn't walk over there, and I didn't notice that there was like liquid all over the floor, but there was a severe amount of liquid on my floor, and on the kegerator, and inside the kegerator, because it leaked through some of the holes and the stem and all that stuff.
And
so I don't know
inside the
what...
cap.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, so I had to clean that all up. But that allowed me to then keg the beer that I'm going to the beer festival with in a week. By the time when this episode comes out, it'll be in 2 days from the time you're hearing the sound of my voice. It's on the 22nd. It's at Labyrinth. I talked about it on the last episode, but if you'd like to come on down, tickets are $30. Tasting start at 11 a.m. So I have that beer here. But then I also, on the 4th of July, I went to 12% Beer Project and I picked up Skygazer has a 12-pack now called Sour Crusher. So my beer this week is actually a lightly fruited 5% ABV, refreshingly crushable, crispy sour ale with mango.
Sounds tasty.
Yeah, that does sound really, really good.
And they come in, little 12-ounce cans because it's the summer and it's meant to be crushable. So this is my beer of the week. As you can see on it, it has Saturn on it with a Skygazer logo on top of the planet and a moon. Hey, that's a crusher as well, Chris.
Yeah, I thought it looked familiar, but it's a different one. This one's apricot.
Yeah, I think I have that one as well. I think it came in my 12-pack. So the 12-pack.
Oh, it's like a mixed 12-pack. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
The mixed 12-pack comes with 4 different flavors.
Oh, I like that. Skygazer doing mixed 12s. Oof.
I threw the box away, so I couldn't tell you what it was, and I didn't dig through my fridge to get you all the flavors. But mango, I think, is probably going to be... Mango is always one of my favorite beers. I know we talked about it in the last podcast, but mango is one of them that I always go to anyways. So I think this is a good bring to the podcast. As you can see, it is classics. It looks like a classic Skygazer beer. T-Rex is not seeing you through this. It's very hazy / fruit puree-y. Is that a word? It is a word.
Ironically, not a good beer to do sky gazing through.
Correct. On the nose, smells like straight mango. I think this is going to be delicious. Skygazer, still to this day, has made one of my favorite fruited sours, which was a blueberry lemonade sour from way back in the day. Skygazer was a brewery before Skygazer went to 12%. Then they broke up and they became Skygazer and Transcend. And Transcend is now the old Skygazer because it's still the same brewer who owns Transcend. Whole fucking mess. But that guy makes one of my favorite fruited sours, but it was under the Skygazer name. On the nose, nothing but mango. Smells like it's going to be a little sour. Skygazer is known for their sours. Let's dig in. Beer. Oh, that is quite sour. That's about second Granny Smith apple.
Oh, wow. Okay. Style. That's getting up there.
Yeah. That's like for those listeners, that's like a 7. It also has a nice bready after finish, like kind of more like an ale after finish, which is nice. That makes it actually crushable.
It's funny because this doesn't sound crushable. Like it being that sour, it sounds like it would be a one and done.
It might be because it's too cold, but that's generally how you're going to drink these, pulling them fresh out of a cooler on a hot day. But it's very sour up front, but like I said, it fades into that ale flavor pretty quickly. It is nothing but mango. Mango through and through. It tastes, if you wanted to kind of relate it back to what a mango tastes like, it kind of tastes like you're eating a sour part of the mango. Like, when you get a bite of mango and it's a little sour, it's kind of what this is.
Famed citrus fruit.
Correct. Yes. Really good. Super crushable, obviously, hence the name. Weighing at 5% ABV. I mean, I might be drinking these for the rest of the summer. This is fantastic. If you go to 12%, do not buy the ones on the counter. They don't give them to you anyways. They have them cold in the back. So I tried to buy the one on the counter, and the guy was like, "That I put a hole like it has like the grabby thing. You know how like 12 packs have like the part you put your hand through to pick it up?
Oh, like the cardboard box.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So I put my hand through that, and he goes, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I want to buy this." He goes, No. These are the display model." He's like, "We have them cold in the back for you." I was like, "Oh, even better." I was like, "Sorry, I put a hole in your box."
I thought I got the last one.
Yeah. He's like, "Sorry, I put a hole in your box." He was like, "Don't worry about it." Yeah, this fantastic. Really super drinkable. I'm gonna give it I'm debating between a 4 and a 4.25. I'm gonna give it a 4.25. I think this is a good summer drinking beer. This is like, if you're not feeling all day IPAs or something like a
Summer
Bud Light,
shandy.
Yeah, this is better than a summer shandy. I don't personally like summer shandies, disclosure, but this would be what I would drink instead of a summer shandy.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have it here on Tapped.
Okay.
The Mango Sour Crusher, and there are 346 check-ins.
Okay. Skygazer tends to have some hop hype to it. Or at least it did when it was Transcend, but I think it still does now, because 12% in general has hop hype. I'm going to say it's going to be somewhere around between a 4 and a 4.25, kind of like me. 4.12.
Respectable guess. 4.02.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. So on the board, though,
On
for
the
sure,
board.
on the board. So while I rate this on the board, I'm a little confused. So the beer you have in your taster glass is not the beer that Simba really likes, not
Right.
the beer that Simba got hammered on, but it's your new beer.
It's my new beer. So this is the beer. The wort was brewed by Labyrinth, and then they tell you to go home and turn it into your own beer. So
Right.
My idea was I was going to make a peach apricot IPA, but I was also going to use the Philly sour yeast, which would turn it into a sour peach apricot IPA. That was my goal.
Interesting. Okay.
Brewed it up, the brew day went very well. The wort was a little bit darker than I expected it to be, and I tried to lighten it up by adding some more additions. I added about a pound of carapils to lighten it up, a pound of flaked oat to lighten it up a little bit, just to kind of see if I could get it from being so dark to lighter. Well, that failed because it still came out. It's hazy as hell, but listeners, I'm going to describe it as poop colored.
It is absolutely diarrhea water.
It is poop water.
Now, what did it look like before?
You are not seeing a T-Rex is not seeing you through this at all.
No.
Yeah.
Did
it lighten up at all? Like,
it did actually lighten up a little bit. Like,
okay.
Before it would have looked more like darker, I guess. It would have looked more like a stout or like a porter. This looks more like a brown ale. A very hazy brown ale.
I've never seen a beer look like that, Todd.
Definitely is a brown ale.
So, I'd like to drink it on the podcast and kind of share my thoughts with you guys.
Now, have you tried it at all?
I did
this?
before
Okay.
it was carbonated. This is
Okay.
officially the first carbonated tasting.
Okay.
Okay.
So you had the brown ale green. Now you're gonna.
So to let you guys know, Philly sour yeast is supposed to be yeast that you put in there, and as it ferments, it also is supposed to give off some lactic acid to give some sour flavors. It's the first time I've ever used this yeast. It's a really popular yeast. It's only been around for about a year, so I had a hard time finding it. I had to order it special online to have it sent to me for this project. I've also dry hopped this with Amarillo and Citra to kind of accentuate the peach and the apricot. For peaches and apricots, I used canned peaches and canned apricots to get a little bit more of like, I wanted the juice more than I wanted the actual fruit. And they were both, I did not use ones with syrup. I used both with the juice. That way the juice would go into the beer. This thing weighs in somewhere between 7.5 and 7.7% ABV. So we'll split difference, call it 7.6 ABV. Let's try it. When I tried it before it was carbonated, it still had a little bit of carbonation to it because the yeast gave off a little bit of carbonation. And it wasn't bad.
Let's see how it is now that it's final form.
So it is slightly sour. Definitely fruity. You could definitely taste the apricots. I get no peaches. It's drinkable. I would not say it's my best beer that I've ever made. It's more of like a Belgian sour. which was kind of my concern because some of the reviews I read on the Philly yeast was that I guess it goes one of two ways. It either goes really sour or it goes more Belgian sour. And so this is Belgian sour. So it's kind of more of a Belgian apricot peach sour. I get no...
But also an IPA.
Belgian IPA sour peach apricot.
Kitchen sink beer.
Definitely a little bready, but it's got a lot of those Belgian sour notes to it too. You know, it is sour, but it's got some of the banana flavor. It's not bad. It's drinkable. It's very drinkable. I'm glad I don't have to drink all 5 gallons of it because I get to bring it to a beer festival and give it away.
Now, can we get the Simba review?
No, I'm not going to do that to him. I think
your cat's kind of a connoisseur now.
I was very upset because I liked that beer that was on tap. That was probably the best beer I've brewed. Very disappointed in that one. This one, it's good. Do I think I'm going to win the competition with it? No. I'll give it a 3.75.
Okay. Hey.
Cool.
It's solid enough. Like, if I had this on tap at a brewery, I'd be like, oh, that's an interesting thing. Glad I had it.
Weird that they serve it in black cups instead of a glass, but okay.
Yeah, it's not the most appeasing looking beer.
Only in a can. Do not pour into a glass.
I don't know what happened. It's very disappointing, but I'm happy that it's drinkable. I was kind of worried that this yeast would completely fail. But come on down to Labyrinth, try it out. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm always a harder critic on myself than people are. Than people are to me. So maybe this is a 4.25 for some people. I don't know.
Cool. So do you have a name for the beer? Is the question.
Well, originally it was
you had one last year, right? Your homebrew last year had a name.
Yeah, it was Pineapple Princess, but I did the ABV calculation wrong. I did it right this year, where I thought it was 4.2%, but it really was 7.5% last year. So it should have been Pineapple Punk, but Pineapple Princess fit better for the 4.2% ABV beer. This, I was going to name it Get Juicy, and I was going to get a picture of a big giant peach emoji on my shirt. I don't know now. TBD.
Okay. Well, listeners, you have 2 days to put your best ideas in the Discord. Give Todd some inspiration on based on everything that you've heard. What a good name would be.
Honestly, that next sip, that was pretty good. Maybe I should drink a little bit of this. I only have to bring 3 gallons, so maybe I should pull some off the bottom and kind of get some of the residuals out of the bottom, and maybe it'll clear up a little bit too.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's my review of both beers. Chris?
Yeah.
You feel like drinking?
Yeah, I do. I know we talked about my divine moment of clarity, but it's July, and you know what July is?
Stout season.
Stout season.
Hashtag stout season.
Hashtag stout season. It's perfect. Actually, this is a porter.
But you just fucking lied.
Oh, you can't drink that in July.
Oh, damn it. Well, I already opened
it. Goes porter June, stout July.
Yeah. You got to pour that down the drain.
Oh, well, okay.
August is Oktoberfest. September is...
In that case, I do have a stout, actually, I could drink.
September is stout, and then October is pumpkin beers, and November is throw them away.
Yep. All of them. No, so I went to Total Wine recently. Now, I want to say, listen, I talked about it in, I think, my Beer Dad Discord, but Total Wine, listen, I know you're listening, okay? Total Wine.
Big fans of the pod.
Big fans of the pod, yes. I love the fact that you can go to... I love that you can go to Total Wine and get like a great assortment of beers, right? What I don't like is freaking can date roulette you play every time you pick up a can of beer. You like go and you're like, oh, this looks interesting or this sounds interesting. And then you look, it's like, oh, this is 4 months old. This is 6 months old. This is blah, blah, blah. This is from May of 2021. So yeah, that was a date that I saw on a sour IPA, I think. So
dude, that's a long time ago.
So Total Wine, here's my benefit to you. This is my official pitch. I will, on your dime, travel to every single one of your stores. And I will drastically mark down anything that shouldn't be there. And I'll just tour the country, tour the Total Wine country. And I'm doing you a service. Listen, you don't want people to come in and buy the beer and be like, oh, it's gross, because they don't know to look at the bottom of the can. Like, and then look, I'm saving you so much time, so much customers. And you can name it like, I don't know, probably bad section, like, or something like that. And people will be like, oh, it can't be that bad.
Last chance beers.
Very last chance beers.
But you know what? If you're a college kid and you're looking to get, beer to drink,
Right.
It's severely marked down.
Listen, there's demographics out there that just want ABV at low dollars.
Yeah, your alcoholics, your people that you're looking to.
I wasn't gonna say it. That's not what I'm trying to pitch here, but just so we know. But I will say your bottle selection was amazing. When I went, oh my god, I could have spent $400 on bottles alone. And this is one of the ones I picked out. So this is from Southern Pines Brewing Company, and it's called The Long Dark Night. Perfect for a July, longest nights of the year.
The famously longest nights of the year.
Well, we're already past the longest day of the year, so we're getting there.
We're getting there. Give it time. Just keep waiting.
It does look like a very classy, fancy bottle.
It does, and it had wax on it.
It looks like something you would see on a shelf playing Skyrim. Like
Yep.
Like an alchemy table.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Very good description.
I honestly thought when you pulled it out of the fridge that it was a Barreled Souls bottle. I was like, holy shit, where'd you get a Barreled Souls beer from?
Yeah, so I was intrigued. They had a few different variants, but this is the maple barrel aged Baltic porter. So they had a couple variants that were like rum barrels. They had I think the barrel aged Baltic porter without the maple, but I saw the maple and I was like, well, we know how I like to drink for breakfast, so the descriptor.
Listeners don't know we're recording this podcast at 8 a.m. Yeah.
Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
That's right. 11.3% alcohol, 45 IBU, and 30 SRM. It actually tells us our SRM count on here. So
good thing it's 8 a.m.
Basically a billion.
Basically a billion, right. This lagered, full-bodied porter has malt flavors of chocolate and slight roast. It just says slight roast. That's it. Maple barrels add oak and smooth sweetness on a crisp, cool dawn. Huh. So wait, maple barrel. Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm very excited now.
What kind of roast? Like a pork roast?
No,
like
it just
a
said
beef roast or
and slight roast. That's all it says. Maybe it's gonna make fun of me as I'm drinking it. It's just gonna.
Oh. It's one of those. It's Jeff Ross gets poured out of the bottle.
You're a bit fat. You got a big head. Oh, no. So let's check it out. Here we go.
So I've never had a Baltic porter before. I had never even heard of the style. I had to look it up.
It's from Baltic, Connecticut, obviously.
This is what craftbeer.com calls a Baltic porter. Look at that head. Let's
Beautiful.
I'll read this while we wait for that head to subside a little bit. Mm-hmm. But the Baltic style porter is a smooth, cold fermented and cold lagered beer brewed with lager yeast. Because of its alcoholic strength, it may include very low to low complex alcohol flavors and or lager fruitiness such as berries, grapes, and plums, but not banana. Ale-like fruitiness from warm temperature fermentation is not appropriate. This style has the malt flavors of a brown porter and the roast of a Schwarzbier, but is bigger in alcohol and body.
So it's a cold IPA, but in a porter form that's boozy.
I think that would be the most butchered way you could describe that beer and still be accurate, but yes.
There we go.
Nailed it. Got it in one. Yeah, so that's interesting. I don't think I realized, I've had Baltic porters before, but I don't think I realized what the distinction was. So that's interesting.
It's nothing about them being from Baltic, Connecticut.
Yeah, that's
no.
Maybe it's wrong. Maybe that the website's wrong. Probably. So as they alluded to, really beautiful looking beer. Even after a little bit of settling, the head is still there. Probably got about half-inch ahead there, quarter-inch ahead there. Dark as night, billion SRM. Oh wait, 30 SRM.
Basically the same thing.
Basically the same. We round up to the nearest billion. You can see more light through it than I was expecting.
That is shocking, actually.
Dark but clear.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised by that. So,
well, that's got to be the lagering process of how it's brewed, then, right? I mean, because that kind of when you lager something, it drops. When you cold crash something, it drops all the sediment out.
And now I see why it's only 30 and not a billion.
Yeah. Just slightly darker billion. So I'm excited. Nose taste, I get a lot of the barrel. I was expecting more sweetness, but here we go. Let's see how this Lone Pines is. Nope, Southern Pines.
Oh, what is the malted liquor? What gets you drunker quicker? What comes in bottles or in cans? Beer! Can't get enough of it. Beer! How we really love it. Beer! Makes me think I'm a man.
All right, so I want to address it right up front. The alcohol taste very present.
I was gonna ask because when I was that see-through, I was like, that's gonna be a boozy beer.
It is definitely a boozy beer. There's no hiding it. It kind of punches you right in the mouth. Right as soon as you had it, you're like, oh, this has alcohol in it. Neato. It does have some of the roasty toastiness. Maybe a slight bit of like more bitter chocolate. But then it does, again, while still having a mouthful of alcohol. The maple syrup does an okay job trying to sweeten it up at the end. But it's just really hard for me to decipher it from just being like, oh, there's the barrel aged yumminess right there. Again, like being a porter, I'm always like, I think I want to like porters more than I do. I think that's my a personal issue with me is like, I'm like, oh, they're like a stout's little brother, but they're not. I mean, maybe they are, but I mean, technically they are, but still.
They're annoying little
brother. They're annoying little brother, yeah.
Who's almost as strong as their older brother.
Okay. All right. So I think my taste buds have acclimated a little bit. That sip was a little better. Still hits you with the alcohol up front, but then it does do a better job of like hitting you with some of the roasty, toasty notes, and then sliding a little bit into the maple to sweeten it up on the backside. Okay. Yeah. I think it like shocked my mouth when I first had it. So, it's good. Again, I think I always expect more from porters than I should give them credit for. Like, I think I'm just like, I'm a stout person. Like, I think that's just what it is. It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. Definitely stronger than I thought it was going to be. And it's like, you know how sometimes you can have a beer and you're like, oh, this is like, you can tell it's boozy, but it's like, you know, a classy boozy. The best I can think of is like a Goose Island. Like, they're high ABV, but like, and you can taste it a little bit, but like, it's not that bad. This is like the straight whiskey. This is that's the boozy I'm getting on the front end. But it's good. It's good. It's not what I was hoping for. I was expecting more. I was hoping for more, especially given the description and the look of the bottle. I'm gonna lock it in at a 3.75. I'll give it a 3.75. 3.75. It
seems like a generous 3.75.
Yeah. Like a 3.62 and a half. Like, it's good. It's just, I don't think it's quite my style. I'm a little disappointed with it, but you know what? Life goes on.
We're gonna go with this one. This one kind of has a picture. We're gonna stick with this one. Out of 65 check-ins,
okay,
what do you think the people of Untapped rated this beer?
Oh boy. Considering I know nothing about Southern Pines and I'm not its biggest fan, I don't think I'm gonna get close. I said generous 3.75. For me, I'm gonna add 10% to it. For I
gotta do math.
No, I'm gonna add 10%, round it up. So I'm gonna say 3.79.
So it's 4.14.
No, impossible. What was the other one? What was the other one?
4.28.
Okay, no, never. Wow.
So
I wish you guys were here.
Close either way.
I wish you guys were here. Maybe you guys would like. Maybe this is.
Maybe it's you. I think they got suckered in by the fancy, pretty bottle.
It is a fancy, pretty bottle. It is a nice looking bottle. It's a beautiful looking beer. It looks beautiful. Like, and it's not bad. It just is not. It's not a 4.1 whatever malarkey.
4.28, 4.14.
Not either one of those.
Yeah, I was willing to like just let you guess and like give you the one that was like closest to you, but
I would have never gotten it.
No, not a chance.
No. Wow. I don't know. Well, no point for me today. I'm not.
All right, it's up to me then.
It's up to you.
It's up to me to dethrone Todd.
Save us.
I know. A couple weeks ago, I had on that beer from Eurisco, I think it was.
Yeah.
The T-Rex beer.
I said, well, I'm all out of Asheville beer, so I guess it's time to go back. Well, good news, bad news. I did find another Asheville beer, so it wasn't time to go back. But I'm going to drink it tonight, so it actually is time to go back. I was cleaning out the hidden recesses of my beer cave, and I found all the way from Weaverville Zebulon Ales.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, nice. There we go.
This is the
best brewery
whiskey.
You didn't go to.
I know. This is their whiskey barrel-aged barley wine for Lou Reed. It says it's a British-style barley wine rested in wild turkey and George Dickel whiskey barrels. Delicate notes of coconut and vanilla from the wood adds to the decadence. Aging potential of at least 5 years. Well, it wasn't 5 years, but it was, one.
This is one that I don't think Chris or I don't think it was on tap. And I don't think either one of Chris or I bought this bottle for ourselves. I think you are the only one who got this bottle.
I have had this. So.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I don't know if I bought it or if I had it there. Let me see.
Did I check it in?
I have one friend that checked it in, and it is you. Yes, we have had this.
Oh, then never mind. I thought we got you one that we didn't have. Maybe it was the best one that we had that they had in a bottle. Maybe that's better.
Possibly.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I don't want to ruin it because we have each have one of the check-ins, so don't want to give anything away.
Yeah. So it pours this beautiful caramel color. Mm-hmm. It really looks like maybe like a brandy snifter.
Yeah.
Just pouring the first ounce or two, very strong bourbon barrel smell. No carbonations. Looks like incredibly flat. No head. Just a little bit of residual bubbles coming up, but I don't expect this to be very carbonated at all.
Right.
Which is, maybe that's why they call them barley wines, because they're as carbonated as wine is. Let's see. Filled up the glass here. Try to get a little bit of excitation going. Smells strong. I'm not, to be honest, usually barley wines hit or miss for me, but I am very excited because of all the Zebulon hype that you guys have imparted upon me.
As I said, I could live in that town that it's in for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And be perfectly happy.
Yeah.
Just chilling like a Weavervillian.
Correct. I would live in Tud's front yard. Yeah.
I just need a tent and occasionally use your bathroom, and I'll be all set.
Exactly.
I can give you a hose as far as I can go.
Hose in a bucket. You got to empty the bucket out yourself.
Yeah. What you do with that bucket is your choice.
I'm going to marry that bucket.
And I would like you to not dig holes in my front lawn either, so.
Oh, I wanted to live like Shia LaBeouf.
All right, I'm diving into this beer. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Wow. I forgot how sweet barley wines can be. Ooh, baby. I also didn't realize, small print here at the bottom, 13% alcohol. Man, these barley wines are strong stuff.
Yeah, they are. Yep. I don't know what it is about them, especially since I was just complaining about like how this beer was too much, but I love barley wines. I do enjoy them so much.
Yeah, this is incredible. I always say it tastes like golden raisins when I have a beer like this, with like this amount of that overripe fruit sweetness combined with that whiskey barrel. But it's like a dry sugar finish on your mouth. Super complex. I kind of wish that I had gone first because I want to just slow sip this one the whole rest of the
And now you got to chug it. I mean,
that's how it goes. I have to finish my beer before, when Jordan is telling us all to drink, that's basically when we have to finish our glasses. I don't know.
Rules is
our
rules.
Listeners know that, but
right. That is
the hidden rule.
It's the rule.
Yeah. Like I said, very complex, a really challenging beer, but I like it a lot in that it's very different than what I've been drinking lately. This would be great on a flight board, great to share with friends. Unfortunately, that's not how this show works. It's drinking alone with friends. I'm here for it. I'm not going to say it's like the best beer ever because it is so much that like 3 ounces of this would be all I really would need. It's just so overpowering.
Yeah.
But even still, I really, really like it. It's a strong 4.25.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not think you were going to rate it that high. You did not sell it as if you were in love with it like that. So.
Yeah. Wow.
No, I started at a 5 and worked my way down, put it that way. But I was like, what would make this beer perfect? And then here's, I'm just taking a little bit away because it is really good. But again, a lot for a beer. It's
right.
Like if you're the kind of guy who likes, drinking your alcohol neat out of a rocks glass, like maybe this is your kind of beer because it is so much.
Right.
But
okay.
I'm here for it.
All right. Nice. Well, so there's not many check-ins. Only 133. 2 of them are already on this podcast.
I know. I was gonna say I'm not one of them, am I?
No.
I want to make sure I'm not cheating.
Nope.
Because you guys had this one. You went to the brewery while I was like flying to Asheville. 133. I'm gonna be really curious to see
You should have been there, by the way. You should have been at this brewery with us.
I know,
Yeah.
but there's always next time, So you guys got to leave a reason to come back.
We would have easily been building a compound down there right now if you were there.
I do.
We'd own a triplex.
Such a nice town. It's such a nice town.
Weaverville. Yeah. What is? Sorry, I got distracted. 130 something.
133. Yes.
Yeah, I think they're gonna like it. I think I can't, but it is, like I said. If you're a casual beer fan, maybe this isn't for you. I don't want to talk myself out of it too high. I still think it's above a 4.07.
Well, you're gonna tie with Tud. It's a 4.17.
Wow.
So,
oh man,
you talked yourself out of it.
I did. I was like started with 4.12, and I walked down. I was like, no, it's not that high, because people are dumb. But people aren't as dumb as I was giving them credit for.
People are dumb about my beer.
Yeah, these aren't the same people who checked in Chris's beer.
Nope.
So.
It's true, but these people are, they live in small town America, USA. It was a lot.
Life is perfect for them. There's nothing.
Yeah, a lot of elder statesmen who know what they're looking for in beer. When we were there, it's also the beer mecca, so you get a lot of people who really truly appreciate beer.
Yeah.
So speaking of people who truly appreciate beer, I gave it a strong 4.25. I'm guessing you guys both came in around 4.25 as well.
I gave it a 4.25 as well. Tud gave it a 4. So
okay.
yeah.
Okay. That's kind of what I expected. Chris is the barley wine lover of the pod.
Yeah.
So.
And I think it's Tud. It hit or miss with Tud, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are. And I don't exactly remember this one. I don't remember if I had one of Chris's. I probably had a sip of Chris's.
It's possible.
And rated it off of the sip that I had versus having my own. Because in my memory, Chris and I ordered every single beer they had, but we did not each drink a whole pour of everything they had.
We did the Lady and the Tramp where we
Yes.
we each
You
drank
both sipped from the same class.
out
Yeah.
of different sides. Yeah.
How does that work? You end up with two sides of the straw? I don't know. No, I did pull up Chris's rating here, though. It does say 4.25, great pregame for $5 well drinks, which I thought was a weird way to check in the beer. But,
Can't wait to get wasted on $5 rum and cokes.
Listen, it was the best deal going. Name me another place in this country you can find $5 well drinks.
Just that place, baby.
oh, Montana, I could name a lot of bars.
Then maybe you live in one of the best places.
We'll go to the VFW and we'll get some $3 well drinks.
Oh man,
I always forget that
$3
VFWs are a thing. They probably do have $5 well drinks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely a VFW scene here, which is a very interesting scene.
Well,
because not all veterans of foreign wars, I can tell you that.
Well, I can tell you that my dad hangs out at the French Club, and he is not French.
No, what do you mean? Adam Mowitz is clearly French.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. My dad, whose last name is O'Brien, also hangs out at the French Club. So.
They probably hang out together.
Uh-huh. All right, well, that's 2 tally marks on the board.
Yeah.
Or it would be if we had the old board.
Well, congratulations, Obert.
Thank you very much, Ted.
I think you both suck.
Hang on. I like how I said congratulations to Obert, and he just took that he's like, yep, thank you. Or nothing, no reciprocal award back to me. Nothing. That hurts.
I'm messing with the whiteboard over here. Give me a minute.
The old whiteboard, so
that
much
was
easier
my
to use.
my 30th tally mark, I will say.
I know. I see that. You're one behind me right now.
I am.
I'm not happy about it.
But honorifics, Chris has the martini glass. I have the episode 200 trophy. Ted's over here in the lead, but he's missing that. Those
I have the
special
most
somethings.
Who was episode 100? Was
numbers.
that the Brew Locker? Is that right? Was that Jenna?
It's possible. We'd have to go back in the archives.
If only there was a way to look it up.
I know.
What happened to our historian?
Unfortunately, we published this podcast on Snapchat. And
24 hours,
after 2
baby.
episodes, it's gone. Yeah. All right, well, I'm about to down this beer down the hatch while we listen to Jordan.
Whoa. I still don't get my reciprocal congratulations, Tud. I gave you a congratulations.
That's true. Tud, honk, co-man of people this week. We did it.
You're just going to skip right over that.
Well, I was going to do it after Jordan's medley, but we could do it now. Man of the people, And you earned it. You earned it with a strong guess.
You as well.
Yeah, stronger than some of the other people on this podcast. But.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, he's kind of fallen behind. I mean, you've caught him up. You've caught up to him. He's never beaten me.
All right. So anyway, time for Jordan to serenade us. Jordan, take it away.
Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Test your handle. Mug of wisdom! Drink. Mug of wisdom!
All right. Thank you, Jordan. Cool guy, that Jordan. Welcome on the show anytime. So if you don't hear him here, know that it's him refusing our invitation. That's why.
I wonder if he joined the podcast now, how quickly he would take him to catch and pass Chris.
It's a good point.
At least 60 weeks. 62 weeks.
So this is the part of the show where we have a Frosty Mug of Wisdom. We take it out of the freezer. We fill it up with advice, hacks, wisdom. Because Tud and I both guessed so good at our beer stuff, we are men of the people. Mm-hmm. We know the common man. We know how beer check-ins work. We just have our ear to the beer ground because we're so smart about beer and stuff.
Yes.
And we're also smart about life advice and wisdom and hacks. And I think it's only fair that we make Chris go first as the loser of the Frosty Mug this week.
I do agree with this assessment.
The least in touch with the common man.
Yeah, the most entitled, uppity beer drinker of the podcast.
Well, he is going to the fancy clear beer festival that he has to think is picky out at. So
That's
he's
very
really
true.
showing how much of a non-common man he is at the moment.
Yes. How dare you talk to me in your I don't know, native tongue? I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, yeah, I'll go first. And I know I don't say that very often. Normally I hem and haw until someone else takes it from me. But I actually do have a song I would like to share with you guys that I heard recently, and I've been a little obsessed with. So I don't know.
And I will perform it for you now.
Yes.
Key of E, please.
Me. So if you're on the social medias at all, Fall Out Boy has done a cover. I say a cover. It technically is a cover of "We Didn't Start the Fire." However, all of the events that are in it are from 1989 to 2023, and it's
so they wrote new lyrics for "We Didn't Start the Fire."
Exactly. It's almost like a sequel to It's "We Didn't Start the Fire" 2, Electric Boogaloo, and it's really, really good. Like. I don't know. You have to listen to it. I'm not gonna besmirch it by trying to remember the lyrics or the way that they sing it. But if you are,
oh no, I think you should perform it for us. This is as man of the people. I vote that you have to perform this.
All right.
Ober, can I get a second?
No, I want to hear the Fall Out Boy version. I would rather hear that. Which is in the show notes.
Yes.
All the handles are always in the show notes.
In the show notes, guys. Check it out. Like, if you are I think we're called elder millennials now. I don't know how this works, but
no, we're peak millennial.
We're peak millennial. Okay.
Yes.
So if you are our aged or live nowadays, it's really good. I don't know. I got a chuckle out of it. I've been obsessed with it, like listening to it a couple times a day. You should really go check it out, because it's pretty awesome how they did Billy Joel right by like continuing on like his I'll say the legacy of the song, and it encapsulated like literally everything. I'm like, I know all this stuff. This is stuff that I lived through. Like, it's just really cool for us old people. So check it out. If you're on social media, I'm guaranteed you've heard at least 15 seconds of it. But if not, we'll put the link in the show notes for the whole thing. Fall Out Boy, their sequel to "We Didn't Start the Fire." So check it out. Add some happiness to your life.
I can't wait for 20 years from now when "We Didn't Start the Fire" Part 3 comes out with a band that hasn't existed yet.
Nickelback, probably. Let's face it.
No, it's gonna be a band that like
it's gonna
just
be a
comes
band
out
that
of
started
nowhere
in 2023,
2025 or something. Yeah.
I hear that Blink 182 is big nowadays. So
Yeah, they're all the rage.
all
I
right.
can safely say that as being somebody on social media, I have not heard this song. So
You haven't? Oh my goodness.
No.
Well, we'll have to do a podcast listen along after the show's over. So, but anyways, who wants to duke it out for their next handle?
I mean, I'll go next if Obert doesn't mind.
All you, co-man of people.
Oh, they're fighting.
you.
can hear it
Thank
in
you,
their
also,
voices.
co-man of people.
Listen to them.
I'm gonna keep it musical
Ooh.
this week. I'm gonna go with Chris's theme here, and I'm gonna recommend a band.
Well, okay, now I got to think of a musical handle. All right.
Ober wants to go now.
I'm gonna name a band, but I'm also gonna provide a concert for people to listen to. And the band is what I'm currently obsessed with. It's my new obsession. It's the band called Goose. Very fitting for this podcast, by the way. Just given our honks and all that stuff. But
Well, that's a swan.
I went and saw.
Dummy.
It's true. But I went and saw them at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center this past weekend, also called SPAC, in Saratoga Springs, New York. And Goose, for those of you who don't know what Goose is, which I'm assuming a lot of people don't, is they call themselves an indie rock band, but what they are is they're basically a jam band in like the same vein as like Grateful Dead or Fish. They're kind of like the next iteration of that. It seems like every generation has like their jam band, and Goose is turning into that into this generation's jam band. But they're great. They're from Norwalk, Connecticut, so a little bit of homegrown talent as well. And their stuff is incredible. If you're a big fan of jam music, all their jams are great. You can go on Internet Archives and listen to their songs from basically any concert. You can go on Bandcamp. You can listen to all their shows there as well. And you can listen to them on Spotify. All their recordings, unlike Fish and unlike Grateful Dead, their CDs are actually pretty good too, which is kind of uncommon for jam bands. So my handle is Goose, but to be more specific, you can go check out the SPAC show that was from this past week. It was the show that I was attending, and it was their biggest show to date with 12,000 people there, and it was also considered one of their best live shows ever. So go check out Goose. Specifically the SPAC show from 7/7/23 or 2023. Link will be in the comments or in the description to go check it out.
Very cool. All right, I'm going to take the Frosty mug. I'm going to give you a video game. But first, I have a song to stick with the theme.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm playing along here. This is also a social media song. I assume it's like a TikTok guy. But his name is Tom Cardy. He's Australian. He has the song, Hey, I Don't Work Here. And it is like such an earworm where the chorus gets stuck in my head. And I'll just be doing something else. And I just think like, hey, I don't work here. And if I did, I wouldn't help you. And it just keeps playing in my head over and over again. So that's going to be in the show notes. Listen to it if you want a song stuck in your head forever. It's very good and funny, and he's a talented musician. You should check him out. But my real handle this week is a indie roguelike game called Luck Be A Landlord, coming to mobile, I think, around when this comes out, like a day or two on either side probably. The concept is you have to pay your rent, and to do that, you have a slot machine. You have a certain number of spins on the slot machine to pay your rent. And the catch is with every spin, you get to add one new symbol to the slot machine. So, there's like all the classics. There's sevens, there's cherries, there's like clubs and spades and hearts and like candies and everything. And they all have fun synergies with each other. Like you can get a beehive that'll make honey, but you'll also can get bears that'll eat your honey to give you more coins, right? So you have to figure out what symbols to add to the slot machine in a way that's going to make you the most coins. But combined with the randomness of you don't know exactly what's going to come up on each spin with each row, right? So it's a fun take on the slot machine thing, and a good roguelike that I've been enjoying. And I played it a lot. Can say it's addictive and quite fun. And I think it's going to be like $5 when it comes out for mobile. It's like similar price, $10 maybe on Steam where I own it. But Luck Be A Landlord, I think my co-hosts and hopefully some of our listeners would enjoy this game.
I'm so confused.
What do you not get?
There's bears with honey.
Oh yeah.
And you got to play slot machine.
Yeah, so it's just a slot machine basically. So there's like you spin it, but there's like a lot of crazy funny synergies.
But what if you don't pay your rent? What happens?
Oh, you get evicted and you lose and you have to start back at the beginning with $0.
Okay.
Yeah. So like it starts off, you have like 5 spins to get 25 coins. And then like, okay, the next 5 spins, you got to get 50 coins. And it keeps going up and up and up until eventually you face your landlord in Mortal Kombat. And if you kill him, you get to live in your apartment forever and win.
Why couldn't my guy just get a job though?
I don't know. I guess he could, but this is more fun.
All right.
Yeah.
So with that, we'd like to thank you all for listening. We'd like to thank the breweries who provided today's beers. I will thank Skygazer for their Sour Crush sour ale with mango, and I'm also going to thank myself for unnamed Labyrinth beer too.
I would like to thank Southern Pines Brewing Company for The Long Dark Night, their maple barrel-aged Baltic porter.
And I would like to thank Zebulon Artisan Ales out of hometown America, Weaverville, North Carolina, for their whiskey barrel-aged barley wine.
I so want to move there. Please head over to social media and follow us everywhere at DAWF Podcast. Also, make sure you follow the email at dawfpodcast@gmail.com. Head over to Discord, join the live conversations with the fans over there. Link in the show notes. You can also head over to Patreon and for as little as $1 a month, support the podcast monetarily as well. It helps us do fun things like go to Asheville, where Obert shows up late, gets drunk on $5 well drinks, has a hangover, and proceeds to lock himself in a bathroom at Eurisco for the entire time we're there. Also, make sure you head over to your favorite social media app and leave us a 5-star rating and a review. And finally, if you choose not to do any of the things I just said, at the very least, tell your friends, somebody who likes beer, somebody who likes to laugh. I know some of our listeners don't even drink beer, but they like our podcast. So let them know. We're not a fantasy football podcast, so you don't have to keep this podcast hidden, because we're not going to help you win anything. So go over there, do it now. With that, my name's Todd.
Also, don't forget, code DAWF is still active over at manscaped.com. That's right, go to manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping off your first purchase, because your balls are going to thank you. So, DAWF at manscaped.com. My name's Chris.
And I'm Obert. And remember, if you're drinking alone, do it with friends.
Still think that guy should just get a job. He wouldn't have to face his landlord in Mortal Kombat.
But you have to pay your landlord with slot machines. That's the whole gist of the game. They don't accept real dollars. They only accept slot machine coins.
And who owns the slot machine? The landlord.
It's all the big.
That's how they get you. That's how they get you.
It sounds like they just have a gambling addict for a landlord.
But there's everything. There's like eldritch horror creatures and witches that make the eldritch creatures more powerful. There's miners that can knock open geodes and give you diamonds. There's a lot of fun, complicated stuff in there.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.